What's up, everybody? We are here in day one of the GSL Super Tournament. One of my favorite tournaments to do the entire year. It's good to be back here.
Yeah, it was a nice little week off there, but we are back and we get to see, does Rogue crush another tournament, or is someone else going to take it home?
He very well could be Rogue. He's looking untouchable. We're going to be starting out with him in our match here. But again, this is just best of fives the whole way through until we get to that best of seven at the very end.
Yeah, and always a very entertaining tournament this is. Very fast-paced. Over the next 2 weeks, we will be finishing it up. Now we're going to bring up our CEO here at Africa TV for a quick interview. Hello, Kevin. It's opening day of the Super Tournament. Oh, wow, it's already season 2.
조성호 선수가 슈퍼 토너먼트 계속 이기고 있는데 또 어떻게 될지 기대도 되고. I'm
excited to see Zoun make it again and Trap having consistent performances. Lots of great stories here. And for TY, it's probably his last tournament. And a lot of players are coming back from the military as well, so hopefully we can have them in the future. Well, thank you for our opening speech. So now it's time to announce Super Tournament. Let's go!
This is the proverbial smashing of the champagne bottle on the giant boat. Am I right?
That was
on the
epic.
yacht. That was it.
Super
Tournament's on. Let's go.
Africa TV Free Cup Studio Live 2021 GSL Super Tournament.
All right, as they said before, the Super Tournament is officially on. Got some great players today. Obviously, I think Rogue stands out among the rest, not even in just today, but today in day 2 as well. But TY, perhaps his actual last tournament before he goes into his military service.
Yeah, there's a possibility this is going to be the last time we ever see him play professionally. I think he'll probably return to professional play when he gets out of the military, but you never know. So kind of a big week, a big 2 weeks to see what TY is going to finish on.
We don't have our format from the past where we would do this in 4 consecutive days. Instead, it will be on the old GSL Code S schedule. I guess I should say the new GSL Code S schedule, but every Monday and Thursday. So a 2-week, 4-day tournament for us here.
Yeah, that's right. And hopefully we can see TY do well. I kind of would like to see him go out on a win and before he gets to the military, but we'll see about that. Of course, Rogue has to be a big favorite.
Yeah.
Personally, for me, I'm really hoping he wins yet another tournament in a dominating fashion where no one looks anywhere near as good as him.
I've got my fingers crossed for an extremely one-sided dominant finals here.
Yeah, that's always really, really fun. Of course, we had the qualifiers. You can see Rogue and Maru both got the seeds into it. They've been on opposite sides of the bracket. And if we do see them in the finals again, hoping we don't get above Ravager Tech. But that's a a story for later.
I'm going to be bummed out if we start to get anything like Hive-ish, you know?
Oh, you don't want that.
That's when I'm going to stop casting and start booing Artosis.
I know, yeah. Don't want that. But yeah, this is our schedule. It's going to be great. Couple weeks here.
Yep.
It's like a nice interlude between GSL Code S seasons.
A little bit different.
We got the bracket. We got best of fives. It's a totally different feel. It's awesome. And look at this very, very nice bracket. Rogue, Solar, Zoun, Dark, SOSTY, Dream Armani. Well, Dream Armani and Innovation Special actually switched. Special had a schedule thing, and they agreed. So actually, Innovation Special will be our last match tonight. But the bracket location remains the same for who they would play next. Then we have Bunny Byun, Trap Cure, Innovation Special, and Maru Ragnarok. And most of these matches look actually very good to me on paper.
Oh, yeah. I think there's a lot of games to be excited about here.
Yeah, Maru Ragnarok, I'm like, no, I don't think so. But other than that, everything it looks pretty good. Like, they can all go two different ways, right?
I'm really curious about the SOS TY match here.
Yeah.
We are in an era where SOS really isn't the dominant player anymore.
Yeah, well, that's for sure.
For a couple seasons, you and I have both been really hyping up SOS because we had so many years of him crushing and innovating and looking like maybe the best RTS player of all time. But now the creativity's still there. The imagination definitely isn't gone when it comes to SOS play, but he's not delivering.
Yeah, he's having a hard time making things work out for him, and he's even had really high ladder ranks and stuff, so we know he's pretty active. But yeah, I'm not sure exactly why. But TY, I think that's like actually that's a good match because we don't know exactly how active TY is, right? Like, he died in GSL Code S, and he's going to the military before the next season. So like, this is literally it for him. You don't know how hard he's going to truly practice for this, right?
Yeah, some pro gamers come back and they really go hard into either the pro gaming aspect, sometimes a streaming aspect as well, or even going into some kind of coaching or managerial role. Other players, it's a new chapter in their life. They had their esports career, they did their compulsory military service, and then they go into another life, another professional field, another passion. So we don't know where TY is going to be, and this very well could be his last. I hope it's not, but we'll see. On to our first match, though. I mean, looking at Rogue, and this is one of the things that's almost always the safest bet, is that Rogue is going to dominate and win the tournament. He's done this so often now, and whenever he does it, it's not even close.
Yeah. At this point with Rogue, it feels like the things that can stop him are himself, and then maybe a couple European Zergs like Raynor and Serral. Like,
yeah, some of the
that's about it, really.
Some of the players from the other region that may be playing the best race, but have a little bit of a different style, so he's not as exposed to it.
Yeah, but that really is kind of the feel. Like, Solar is a great player. He's always been a very strong Zerg within Korea. But like, even, yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's up to Rogue here. We just get to see how Rogue is going to play today.
Yeah, Rogue is really leaps and bounds ahead of every other Zerg out there in the GSL for sure. And somebody that really seems to innovate in the matchup. I mean, even we were seeing the Roach Ravager style being so dominant, and we thought it was kind of a one-off, and then he just kept doing it over and over again. Let's see what he's got to offer here in ZVZ. Map 1 will be on Romanticide. This is a best of 5. The winner goes on to the round of 8 as we start our first match in the GSL Super Tournament.
Dragon Phoenix Gaming, Rogue. KaiZ Gaming, Solar.
All right. We'll see how these guys end up wanting to play. Solar generally leans towards like more Roach-heavy play in Zerg vs. Zerg. Rogue has a pretty full range. He does some really wonky, non-standard stuff from time to time as well. Oh, look at that. In Legacy of the Void, they're actually tied up in ZVZ. Look at.
And I would definitely, I should say, I was definitely not expecting that when they brought previous score. We're actually at the point now where we did this in the very, very first season of GSL, a little bit over 11 years ago, but we'd have the score to be like, well, they're 1-0. And it's like, well, I guess that really doesn't that doesn't tell us much. You can't take a lot from that. But now that Legacy of the Void has been out for a very long time, we've had a lot of games on it, the scores are becoming much more interesting to reveal.
Yeah. The thing is, Legacy of the Void's been out for so long, though. I would like to see something like in the last year type score, because Legacy of the Void at this point is over 5 years old. So it's like, yeah, I mean...
Well, there's also lots of patches in there as well.
A lot of patches, yeah. But yeah, I mean, Solar is not really a championship player. whereas Rogue is literally the championship player.
Right.
The most accomplished that we've had, so.
Yeah, Solar's always been, you know, the top 5 Zergs.
Yeah,
out
that's
here
like
in GSL, consistently top 5.
That's like exactly at like 5th.
Yeah.
4th to 5th.
Always worth studying if you're a student of Zerg, but and there's periods where he absolutely has come out with his own style and his own approach. I think especially at the start of Legacy of the Void and at the end of the Heart of the Swarm expansion, we saw Solar really do a lot of pretty inventive stuff.
He innovated a lot of the early metagame in that era.
Yeah.
You're definitely completely right about that. If you go back to SSL, like he had several good SSLs where he was like top 4, and that was like the other Star League, the SPO TV Star League that was out here. And that was a great tournament as well. And you know, Solar, he showed us things like Lingbane Hydra. Like he is the first person to use that. He did a lot of the early Swarm host play as well with Niduses. You can't give him like full credit for that. I think the first pro I actually saw do that was Biel, but yeah, like Solar is definitely, he's a very smart Zerg. He comes up with really smart stuff. Just we don't see him able to finish stuff, right? Like he doesn't win championships, unfortunately.
Yeah, Rogue seems to be somebody who's got all the tools that you need to be a strong Zerg, but knows how to crush with it.
Yeah.
He knows how to deliver. He knows how to punish. And like Solar's good. He's one of the greats, but I would expect this to be one that Rogue comes out on top, and probably in a pretty impressive fashion too. This time around, they're both going for the Baneling's Nest. We do have an Evo Chamber here for the Blockade over at the Natural, but right now it's 3 base versus 3 base, and what's overall a pretty passive game. We don't see any spike up in Lings.
Yeah, we'll have to see if they do go for that. Right now, very similar as far as the numbers go. And of course, if anyone makes an abnormal amount of Lings, that is going to tell us exactly what's going on. Solar throws down his Roach Warren. Later here on Layer Tech. A few more drones for Rogue.
Yeah, very passive start to get things going here. Keep in mind, you know, Rogue just coming off of being a Codas champion. He's already indicated, and this has happened a couple times before, that he really has a deep understanding of how to approach the entire best of 5, best of 7, navigate your entire way up a bracket while delivering unique strategies along the way so that you're throwing your opponents off.
Yeah.
You do have to have a high amount of variations in build orders. You can't be doing the same thing over and over again. So I'm not surprised here by Rogue, certainly, that he's kind of being very, very passive this time around. It does look like Solar, though, is going to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
He's got a dozen Lings and plenty more Roaches on the way.
Yeah, we have a 12 drone advantage, or even more now here for Rogue. So if you're up like 16 drones, look at this, he mines out some minerals to get through there more quickly. Rogue sees what's going on. He does not have the army needed to hold this right now. We're going to see, like, I think, it looks like he'll probably throw down some spines to try to hold on. If he can hold it somehow,
he might be killed.
He's going to have Roach speed, so that's going to be huge.
It's going to help when we see when and where the Banelings connect. Because right now there's a pretty overwhelming amount here for Solar. He did sort of single file a lot of his army in there. And honestly, the block there was really, really good on a lot of those Banes, not quite connecting to their targets. These Banes now diving onto the Roaches, but you can still see Solar just has more.
Yeah, he does right now. He also got 11 drones with that Bane run by. That didn't, he might just be able to pick this off right now. Like, he might just win this game at the moment.
He may just have enough to smother Rogue here. Keep in mind that although there is a wall here, it's all the key tech. So as the wall falls, so do opportunities to make anything that's going to be good against the unit comp that's already hammering the outside of Rogue's base.
Now, if we can see Rogue actually hold on and not lose that hatchery, this can become a game that he wins pretty handedly. But the Roach Warren's getting very low, and that's a perfect pick-off right now. Once you pick that off, it's not like you can play with Lings right now. You actually, you must be making Roaches to have a chance.
Already more Zerglings here for Solar, and so, yeah, even if you were to make your own Lings, it would lose to the superior number of Lings and Roaches that are coming out here. Now, the last Roaches that can be hatched are on the way, unless there was another Roach Warren made. I didn't actually quite catch that.
No.
Although, I will say this, it does seem like Solar's army is beginning to thin out a little bit.
Yeah, it is, but he's still on 3 hatches, and Rogue is not. Rogue is throwing down a Spire, which I guess is the smartest thing that you can really do right now, right? He's like sitting behind some Spines, and he lost a Hatchery. So where's your comeback potential? You're not going to outmuscle someone with 3 Hatcheries and more drones than you now. That just can't happen.
That's the problem, yeah.
So you have to outdo something else, and that's going to be in the form of the Spire here.
Yeah, you've got to go down a different tech path because you're not going to get any opportunities. You're totally right. I mean, if it's a race and you're both making Ling, Roach, Ravager, and one player has 3 base, the other has 2, it's not a difficult question to answer who wins that, right?
It's really not.
But yeah, an alternative tech path could present a surprise. The question is now, is Solar going to be prepared for that? Can he actually shut down that tech? Because if he does, I think he wins this game pretty easily.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. +1 on the way here for Solar. He's getting his Roach speed. Of course, speed is already done. +1 is already done for Rogue, but none of that matters because he can't make enough Roaches to do anything.
Yeah.
Now, Muta's being made. He's going to shoot down that Overseer just barely, so still no scout of his Mutalisk tech, but here comes the new Overseer.
And this might be enough time. Thought our game crashed for a second there. He doesn't see the Spire, but I think when you see the layer, there's not that many other things it could be, especially with the amount of eggs that are all clustered up here. You know, it would seem to telegraph.
Yeah, he starts 3 more Queens. So I
there
think
it is.
And now he sees it, and he'll start throwing down Spores, which is exactly what he needs. He needs to just kind of turtle up. Now there is going to be some play here for Rogue, right? Like Solar has the edge, and he's doing the right things. We see the Hydralisk Den going down. Honestly, wouldn't mind throwing down an Infestation Pit as well, but definitely a lot of Spores. The thing is, you gain some map control here with the Mutas, right? Like, you can kind of keep Solar back for a little bit at least. And if we see Rogue rush up into Lurkers, I feel like he can get them in time to not die.
That's true.
And the longer you don't die, the better shape you're going to be in, because Rogue is one of the best, if not the best, late-game Zerg player that there is.
Yeah, and I think right now that's probably really all he needs to do to give himself a shot, is to try to outlast the advantage that Solar has. Now, Solar, on the other hand, needs to be very careful not to overextend. He is, I mean, make no mistake, he is in the lead here. He is in the better position. But Rogue is still hanging on. There are Hydras out now. They can accompany the Roach, Ravager, Ling army and make these Mutas no longer as much of a threat. Really, when you go for that Muta tech, one of the benefits you're getting from that is that the ground army can't really put any actual pressure on if it doesn't have any anti-air. But with Hydras out, now everything's changed. And seeing Solar open up the map, he's 3/4 of the way to maxing out. This attack's going to be inbound in a little bit here.
Yeah, the Lurker Den is going to be finishing up. He has like 6-ish Hydras, and he's making a bunch of Spines right now. So Rogue is just really trying to slow this down with his Mutas a little bit. If he can have those Lurkers out and burrowed by the time this gets there, like I mean, he's going to have an advantage in that way at least, but it seems like this is going to hit right before he can do anything.
Yeah, the Lurkers are about a little bit of the way done here, but I think the Spines need to be comboed in with the Lurkers at the same time for this to work. And as the Spines come out, the Lurkers will hatch, and I think Solar's won this game. GG.
Yeah, it just gets him right before he gets those Lurkers out. It was a good idea from Rogue. Yeah, he was like trying to slow down the breakage of the rocks, because right there Solar was trying to make a quick route into the attack. Yeah, I don't know what else he could have done, honestly. Like, he was so far behind. The only other thing that comes to mind, maybe if he did like a strong counter to like the natural or something, targets the Spore immediately, maybe he can get Solar to slow down the attack slightly to try to deal with that.
So much of that goes back to that attack early on at the very start. I mean, Rogue basically got too greedy. Solar came in with a very, very sharp timing and punished him. And now Solar's up 1-0. I mean, how many more times can Solar do this? He only needs to do it twice, and he's caused the biggest upset I think we're going to have in the round of 16 here. That would be insane.
Yeah, that would be the biggest upset, I would say. Like Solar over Rogue.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Lightshade for map number 2. Let's go.
Game starts. Dragon Phoenix Gaming. Rogue.
Oh, nice.
Kai Z Gaming.
Gotta do it.
Solar.
Now, is this too predictable, though? We'll see. I'll tell you what, man, though, if Solar can pull the rug out from under Rogue here, I mean, this is going to be hard for Rogue to come back in.
Yeah, 12 pool, like, let's see, I guess. Okay, hatchery first, and we'll watch what Rogue does after this. Drone, and then he'll go spawning pool most likely. Drone coming up for the scout.
Yeah, this drone coming at this angle. It's going to be funny. The 6 lings have started. And, you know, we don't see a lot of pros do this because if it's held, you just lose, and these guys play all day, you know, and why would you not try to put yourself in a position where you could actually use your skill set of practice and hard work to overcome the opponent? But a cheese is always welcomed in a best of 5. We have many, many championships made with a cheese here or there, and it keeps the other side honest.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a big disinfectant for greed in build orders in a best of 5 and best of 7.
You do want to keep people honest, and well, he's coming across the map. It is just kind of a very standard hatchery first drone gas pool.
I think that Solar's drone wins this fight. Yeah, he like threw the first punch here, and so that's another little loss here. You can make a spine if you want to there on the creep.
Yeah, it seems like that's what he wants to do with that drone. And I like the idea because a lot of people are actually holding 12 pools in this type of situation, right? And then they have their hatchery still up. Here it seems to me like he's going to break the hatch. It really looks that way to me.
Well, also these drones are not going to help in the fight at all. Okay, hold on. The lings are going to come in here, and this is going to be the key moment here for how well he can actually make this work.
Yeah, but microing back is so important here from Solar.
It's so effective here because it's just lost time. The spine is almost done, but it's getting lower, and it's going to be killed right before it can finish.
Yeah, beautifully held right there by Rogue. Really beautifully held. I like the idea from Solar, but Rogue just split perfectly. I think a lot of people there panic a little bit more and don't have the math down on exactly how much should be attacking what. But he ends up holding, and Rogue right now is down a single drone, approximately. Well, I guess 2 drones right now. And of course, Solar's going to be droning up behind this. But, you know, it's even enough. There's a lot of play in these positions, right?
You know, that's a good game, especially for ladder players to study, to see what Rogue did there. Because I think to the uninitiated, some of these rushes, it seems kind of like this hectic back and forth, when really everything is extremely calculated. And the dance really has been mapped out for how you engage that. And actually, Solar did a very good job. Even if you were somebody who wants to do that cheese, the way Solar did it was perfect. When he saw Rogue bunch up all the drones in the nook of the minerals, that's when he knows he doesn't attack there. When he saw the lings and drones came back, he knows he needs to buy a little bit of more time by scooting back.
Yeah, and now we actually have a Rogue going for a speedling all-in.
Yeah.
He has not made a single drone since that was held. He went into speed. He's gone pure ling from here. And, I mean, you're going to have to full wall his Solar, but I think he's going to break through it relatively easily.
And
he's not even going to see it right away.
Oh, my God, the blind spot. Oh, man.
Now he sees.
So this counter punch actually beautifully sets up for the punish here. Now he's plugged the entrance with 2 queens. But these Evo chambers are not even at enough health here to where they're going to last. So he's trying to sandbag this. He's basically just trying to barricade as much of this out as he possibly can. Rogue, with very good control here, has enough lings hitting the queens while the other lings are hitting the Evo chamber. They spill in.
Slipping in right there. This is so tough. And there's just no way. He's killing absolutely everything. GG. And the cheese of Solar backfires.
Kind of a demoralizing loss there for Solar. He did have a pretty sharp timing attack that didn't kill, but did punish in game 1 and allowed him to have an easy closer in game 2. A pretty extreme cheese that honestly, on paper, looked like it was going to work. Like, all signs pointed to Solar, but
I like the spine. That's like kind of a new addition to it. It's cool.
I like the strat where your drone hits their drone first, and then you get the spine up.
Yeah, that's another way.
That's one of the little mini games of StarCraft. Is paying attention to that first little engagement. We're going to go to Jagannatha for map 3. Solar, though, you know, tried to pull a fast one on Rogue, and Rogue not only stopped it, but then pulled a fast one on Solar, punishing him. Our game's now loading up. Guys, it's 1-1. Someone's going to bring it up to 2-1. Let's see who it is.
Game start. Dragon Phoenix Gaming, Rogue. KaiZ Gaming, Solar.
All right, guys. This, we get to see if Solar like loses this game, it's not going to be good news for him.
Yeah, I think there's a chance that Rogue combos the wins, loses that first one, and then just 3-0s it from here. But I want to see what kind of preparation Solar put into this game here. Again, there's nothing wrong with him trying to do that play, but players like Rogue, they don't tend to lose to cheeses. Timing attack almost makes more sense against Rogue.
He's maybe the most cheese-proof player, and in fact, if you think back to him losing to cheese, one of the big ones was when Scarlet knocked him out after one of his GSL victories the very next season.
Oh, that's right.
But the thing is, that was like the most uber planned out cheeses ever. Like insanely like brainy to trick him because he's too good to beat with something standard.
Right.
Not just standard play, but standard cheeses, right? Like he's like the best at holding proxy raxes. He's amazing at holding Zergling rushes. You know, he's nearly bulletproof. So if you're gonna bring a cheese, you got to make something special out of it.
Yeah, cheeses just don't. They kind of bounce off Rogue in a funny fashion, but the fact that he's so good at getting ahead in mid-game and late game, I think those attacks that can hit him and punish him are what make them so much more effective. But, you know, ZVZ, it is a matchup that actually has a lot of different branches on how you can play and a lot of different games that can pan out. So, for now, we basically just wait and watch the production tab and see where the fork in the decision tree starts for each of these guys, because for now they're going to be droning up. We don't have any tech. That's my story. That's your story? That's the great story of ZVZ as a caster, is kind of waiting for these build orders to deviate.
Yeah. Well, that's what we'll wait for then. If you say so, Tasteless. Oh, Tasteless, my Tasteless.
That's the way I like to be referred to. Oh, tasteless, my tasteless. But, you know, one thing I think that Solar will suffer in here if he chooses to try to go down that avenue is I think that he cannot beat Rogue in an extremely long, drawn-out late game.
Rogue is extremely good with Viper Lurker.
Yeah.
Which is what endgame really looks like in this matchup almost all the time.
Split map ZVZ can be pretty insane, too, because there's so many small counterattacks that can be very devastating. And
sure.
There's been a long history of pretty beautiful late-game ZVZs, but it does seem like Rogue and maybe Cyril, a few others, just are honestly leagues ahead of the rest of the players in that.
Yeah, definitely. Like the top few Zergs are ridiculous in the late game. Rogue, Cyril, Raynor, Dark, very, very good in that late game, but yeah. I think maybe a step below the other ones generally.
And for now, the behaviors on both sides have been mirrored. We did have a Baneling's Nest made. Oh, yeah, we did. We see right there. I was going to say for Solar. So, yeah, I mean, again, not much to remark on. We could speculate for days, but when we actually see, you know, what those decisions are going to be, that's going to be it. Now, the third base is oftentimes a target to punish here, which is why you see these players sort of build this this gateway almost into their entrance with their tech structures. If things get too hairy outside, they can evacuate the workers back there and then try to hold it off, you know, kind of keeping the hatchery alive as an outpost. But for now, we don't really see any behavior that telegraphs an actual attack. In fact, both sides are still droning up. They do have a difference in upgrades, one going for armor, the other going for missile attack.
Yeah, the Carapace upgrade is very interesting here for Rogue. It benefits the Zerglings as well as the Roaches, whereas the +1 range, just like it makes Roaches better against Roaches, but then also two-shot slings. But the Carapace, of course, blocks out that two-shot. So, yeah, kind of an interesting one. Like, are we going to see more Zergling-heavy play here out of Rogue? It kind of feels that way with the build that we're seeing. I just saw Burrow start and then cancel immediately from Solar. I think that's probably a hotkey issue. That would be Yeah, there we go. Overlord speed. Okay. Like, can't imagine why you want Burrow right now, but okay.
Yeah, well,
I mean, I'm ready for it.
Maybe there's something you could do. It's honestly, I think it's one of the most underused upgrades. But instead, we're going to see Roach set up for an assault coming up here. He's got lings that have hatched, but actually, 18 Roaches are inbound here.
Yeah, so it's going to just be mass Roach ling. Probably just you make the front amount of Roaches, send them across the map, and then mass lings behind, and that's where the carapace upgrade is going to really come into play. And
you can see the lings, as they're bled off in the fight. More lings come in here to reinforce. Banelings as well here.
Dude, it is 71 drones against 49 drones. So you can see there's so much more production here for Rogue. It's kind of like the mirror of what we saw in Game 1.
I was about to say this. Yeah, it is basically what Game 1, but the roles are reversed. The shoe's on the other foot here. Let's see how good Solar's defense is.
We can't hold this. I can't even imagine.
Oh, even snipes down that one Bane.
Yeah, and
look at this. I mean, you can have your cake and eat it with an attack like this. He gets to hit both angles and win.
He's just winning everywhere.
We're going to be in Game 4 in a second here. There's no way. It is physically impossible for Solar to survive this.
That's right. And he's losing so many drones. He has a few Roaches popping out. It doesn't matter. That was like, it was just like some simple math stuff. Solar thought that they were doing the same thing. Rogue was not. He got that carapace upgrade, which really helps out his lings as well for that giant timing.
Oh, bring the dubstep in. It's 2010 all over again.
Well, we're still playing StarCraft 2, so
That's right. Nothing's changing.
Don't want it to
That's
change.
how I like it.
Yeah.
I'm old and afraid.
I'm not afraid. I'm angry.
I'm angry. I'm old and I'm disappointed in the younger generations.
That's for sure.
They don't do it right. We're going to go to Game 4. Oxide is going to be our map. Rogue against Solar here. Is starting, well, reality's kicking in, it looks like. I mean, that was exciting to see Solar overcome Rogue, but it seems like Rogue is back in his normal form, is sort of bigger, better, faster, stronger. Let's see if Solar can try to get another win. Right now, Rogue, one victory away from getting that first spot in the round of 8.
Game starts. Dragon Phoenix Gaming. Rogue. KaiZ Gaming, Solar.
I'm going to say something.
No, don't do it.
I'm going to say something.
No, don't do it, Tasteless!
And I think I might burn some bridges when I say this, but I was thinking about this, and honestly, I think the StarCraft 2 music is better than the StarCraft 1 music. I actually like it more.
StarCraft 2 music is very good.
It's really good.
But, like, that statement, it's like, are you just looking for attention, Tasteless? Is that what it is?
Well, I'm definitely looking for attention.
Because, like, I mean, you say stupid stuff, and I just let it go, but, like, this one, Tasteless,
You think StarCraft 1 soundtrack's better, but you're biased and you only listen to Terran music all day.
No, that's not true. I listen to the whole soundtrack.
Protoss soundtrack, StarCraft 1, not very good.
The StarCraft 2 Protoss soundtrack is better than the StarCraft 1 Protoss soundtrack.
That is true. That's actually a fact.
That one I will
That
go
one
with.
you can prove with science.
That one you can prove with science. Totally.
Honestly, yeah, no, I think the StarCraft 2 soundtrack actually better. I dig it.
Is that just because you're a Protoss player?
Probably.
Yeah, the Terran themes are better
I've
in
had my
StarCraft
stream-
1 by a little bit, but both of the soundtracks are amazing.
I've had my stream once or twice ask me to put music on, and I put it on, and I'm like, the StarCraft 1 Protoss music is just so not fitting for like an RTS game at all. Like,
Yeah,
it's kind of a it's a weird
beat is a little bit weird. It's like a little bit slow, but
it's kind of like the soundtrack you should have when you're exploring a certain type of open world game. I'd almost say.
Yes, kind of.
Yeah, you know what I'm
you
saying
mean.
with
Yeah,
this?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you are like the alien race, so I think that probably when they scored the game, it kind of made sense that it went with the race because they didn't look at this and be like, oh, this is just going to be like...
There's going to be a game that takes 300 APM.
Yeah, these guys are going to be moving faster than anyone's ever moved in a video game.
This is the soundtrack for the scale monsters with no mouths.
Yeah. And they're very mysterious. Make sure it's mysterious.
Yeah. And so you think about it, No mouths. Now that we're talking about that, and the fact that Zeratul wears a bandana.
And
Maybe that's where the
nipples.
Protoss's genitals are, is right on that chin. We don't know it. That's his.
Could be.
His sexy underwear.
Thing that gets me, Tasteless, is
Yes.
that he has nipples, but they don't have mouths. to
Protosses
drink
have
up with.
nipples.
Zeratul has nipples.
Well, that's why they need to get them pierced, Artosis.
I know.
I didn't know Zeratul has nipples.
Yeah, they screwed up, and then they tried to say it was a birthmark.
Could happen. It's possible.
Yeah. Perfect nipple birthmarks.
Yeah.
Mine are birthmarks too, Tasteless. I don't produce milk either,
Yeah,
Tasteless.
I can't lactate either. So, you know, a lot of the features of this game, production-wise, are mirroring Game 1 and Game 3. But, again, we got to see if anybody's going to pull the trigger.
Yeah, a couple Evos going up, so we'll see what gets upgraded in there. Layer starts for Rogue. Will we have the layer for Solar? Watch him just do the build to Rogue Rogue just did to him. That's actually what it looks like right now. Sees the layer.
Yeah, there goes the layer now. Taking a look down here,
Oh,
it's
he
missile
starts-
attack upgrade
yeah.
for Solar.
Yeah,
And the
that's-
Roshorn starts here, too.
That's really important. That's what we see, but no layer. So it feels like it's actually going to be his Game 1 attack once again. Now, will Rogue be able to sniff this out?
Well, not this time. The Ling bounces off the Queen. I'm sorry, did he cancel and restart the Roach Horn?
Yeah,
What
I think it
happened with
was
that?
misplaced there where
Oh, I think he
Queens and
actually locked
Roaches couldn't
himself
get out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what happened. Okay.
Something like that. Maybe it was a full wall. Okay, layer
Spire.
does get started.
So Rogue is this time intentionally going into Spire. I shouldn't say intentionally. A planned Spire opening, not a forced Spire opening like
I
Game
hate it
1.
when you accidentally go Spire, you know what
You're
I
like,
mean?
what am I doing? Did I make a Spire again? Damn it, I keep doing that.
I'm like, I can't stop my hands! What's
I'm
happening?
trying to make roaches, and all of a sudden I find out I've got a layer and a Spire.
That's
No,
the
this is
exact opposite of my problems in StarCraft where things don't
It
build.
didn't make.
It's when things
It
do
didn't
build
make.
that I don't tell to build. I didn't want to Spire! Why do I have mutas?
This happened to me the other day. I was leaving my base with a big army, and I came out to only discover my Zealots didn't have speed, and I'm like, oh, great. These things are completely worthless now.
All right, we actually have a bunch of spines being made from Solar, so he's completely
Yeah, he's-
misreading what's going on.
He's been duped pretty
This
effectively.
is the sickest fake of all time. Look at
Yeah.
this. There's 5 roaches.
This is an expensive and complicated fake to do, by the way. And not only is it a pretty good fake, but it's actually, the fake is already going to do damage anyways, even though it's too
That doesn't
small.
even make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets Lings by. Rogue is going to accidentally kill him with like a group of Zerglings in the late game before his mutas come across.
Yeah. That's funny that the Lings actually got in there because, first of all, that army was, I mean, just not big, but certainly one that you should have been able to swat away.
Dude, when Solar sees mutas in a second here, oh my god, Solar even canceled his lair during that.
Oh, no, they get in again.
Dude, he canceled his
Now he
lair.
starts it again. All right, so this is...
Oh, Solar is...
He's dead. Well, he's not dead, but he's just...
Oh, he's dead.
He's got a lot of
He
problems.
doesn't realize it. It's like one of those bad anime things. He's like, I'm going to get you, Rogue. It's like, you're already dead.
Yeah. He's like, what? You're a hologram. He's
then
like,
he
oh my god, I'm
yeah,
a
see?
hologram. I've been dead for 1,000 years.
No, that's, you can see as the mutas came, he's just like, kind of gets a grin on his
GG,
face and turns
yeah.
his head to the side. Yeah.
Rogue duped him pretty well. Rogue...
Solar really
out with
had no idea what was going on
Coming out
there,
with the
unfortunately.
fireworks there, I mean, that was a pretty complex fake. And what's funny is then the fake actually did the damage.
Yeah. Man. Yeah, it also kept Solar back. It seemed like Solar was like, oh, damn, I got to make like a lot of units right now. So just having a hard time getting any real intel on what was going on.
That face he's making.
He's just like,
I
wait,
know that
what?
face when you've just lost the game like that. You're like, oh.
This happens when like
You're like
everything
connecting
wasn't
the
what you
dots.
thought.
Yeah, you're connecting the dots.
He's looking at the replay right now, and he's like,
Oh, okay.
man.
He's looking at that fake, that kind of half attack that masked what was really happening. He's like, oh, that's a pretty good idea. All right, I'm learning something. Wish I had learned this not in a Super Tournament match, but
Yeah.
all right. We got an interview now. Let's see how Rogue's feeling. Let's see how far he thinks he can get in Super Tournament.
Rog of Dragon Phoenix Gaming defeats Solar, and he's the first winner of this season's GSL Super Tournament. Congratulations, Rog. Thank you. You acquired the victory for GSL Season 1, and now you're off to a great start this season of the Super Tournament. How do you feel? Well, first of all,
16강을 준비하면서
while preparing for this round of 16,
생각보다 잘 짰다고
I think I strategized really well,
올라갈 거라고는 생각을 했어요.
and then I did have the confidence to win today.
광탈 안 해서 좀 다행이고.
So I'm really happy that I didn't get eliminated so quickly. So yeah, I'm really happy. That is right, Rog. You defeated Solar perfectly today. And in the last game, you were able to use the Mutalisk so well to defeat him. So how was the ZVZ today in general?
제가 준비한 대로 되게 잘 흘러갔던
Well,
것
things
같고,
went according to my plan,
첫 번째 판은
definitely. In the first set,
제가 만약에 맵을 고를 수 있으면 첫 번째 판 로맨틱을 딱 고르려고 생각하고
if I could have chosen the map, I probably would have chosen Romanticide,
준비한 만큼 좀
but I couldn't do that.
좀 잘 안 풀리겠다고 생각을 하긴 했는데 좀 올인이 좀 잘 통했던 것
But I
같아요.
think my all-ins worked really well today. Yes, you did show some phenomenal all-ins today, Rog. And you have great momentum right now. And after your Season 1 victory,
우승하고
how did you spend your days?
스타트가 너무 재밌어져가지고
Well, you know, after my victory, StarCraft 2 began to feel really fun.
점수 채우는 것 때문에
And, you know, I began not losing that much in the ladder.
편하게 하고 있었어요.
And, you know, I've been playing really comfortably. So before the Season 1 victory, did you get some stress? Yes, that's right. You know, tournaments meant a lot to me. And I used to be always stressed. I always stressed about the builds. But, you know, trying to play comfortably, I think that's really instrumental to my victory. And we will look forward to how you play in the future, Rog. And your round of 8 opponent will be either Dark or Zoun, so who do you prefer?
빌드를 지금 다 써가지고.
Well, I used all my builds today, so I think I want to play against Zoun rather than Dark.
토스전 안 한 지 너무 오래돼가지고.
And it's been a long time since I last played ZVP, so I'm gonna have to practice the ZVP matchup. And Rog, you're standing here as the 3-time GSL victory Zerg player. So before you go, anything you want to say?
팬분들이 항상 우승하고 강탈한다고 생각해요.
Well, you know, my fans always think I get eliminated quickly after my GSL victory, but that's not gonna happen this time. I want to try winning GSL Super Tournament as well. Once again, congratulations on your advancement, Rog. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy. Well, look, this is kind of what we thought was going to happen, right?
Yeah.
Good to get this best of 5 out of the way. Rogue moves on. How far will he go? But up next, Zoun versus Dark. I think it's going to be an interesting one, guys. Tiny break, and then we go to that.